When identity depends on constant measurement, stillness feels like emptiness instead of peace. Who you are when nothing is being measured. The hardest moment for identity often happens in silence. There's no audience, no achievement, no recognition, nothing being measured. And suddenly, you're left alone with question underneath everything else. Who am I without performance? That question can feel uncomfortable because many people who have spent years building identity around stillness, success, or even approval, but eventually life slows down enough to expose what performance was covering. You sit quietly at the end of the day without productivity distracting you for once. At first, that stillness feels unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable, because when identity depends on constant measurement, stillness feels like emptiness instead of peace. There's two parts of scripture I want to read from. First one is in Luke, second one's in 1 Samuel, and first one is Luke 10:41 through 42. And it reads, "The Lord answered her, 'Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has made the right choice and it will not be taken away from her.'" That passage reflects the difference between constant striving and simple presence, really. The passage reveals that worth is not always found in endless activity or performance. And then the second passage is 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. And it reads, "But the Lord said to Samuel, 'Do not look at his presence or his stature, because I have rejected him. Humans do not see what the Lord sees, for humans see what is visible, but the Lord sees the heart.'" That passage redirects attention away from external appearance and measurable evaluation towards deeper internal reality. The passage reflects identity that exists between visible performance. Who you are when nothing is being measured matters deeply, because eventually performance fades, recognitions shift, productivity slows down, and if identity depends entirely on those things, peace becomes difficult to sustain. But when identity becomes rooted deeper than output, something steadier begins to start to form. You become less frantic internally, less dependent on applause, less afraid of ordinary moments. So today, you don't need to constantly earn the right to feel valuable. You're allowed to exist without every moment turning into an evaluation, because your identity was never meant to survive only through performance. And maybe peace begins when you finally stop measuring yourself every second. I hope that one helps.